Nobody tells you your child's not going to eat.
You feel helpless. You feel completely helpless.
I wasn't able to do the best that I could for my son.
It's so great that we have an organization, Feeding Matters, that really can bring light to this issue.
To make a better world, Feeding Matters supports research to understand and treat pediatric feeding disorders, works with feeding therapists like Amanda Herman, supports parents through their signature program, The Power of Two, and helps families like the Edsons.
As new parents, we never expected to have to put a tube down our child's nose.
Layla began her life as a perfectly healthy baby. Things changed around 3 months when she started eating less and dropping weight. Scared, Angela and Chris rushed their daughter to the hospital.
She was given an NG tube, which is a tube that is put through her nose, down into her throat, down into her stomach, so she could get nutrition since she had stopped completely eating. And it's not a pleasant experience for kids. It hurts. We were just lost. Nobody was helping us. We were just in this horrible cycle of Layla not gaining weight. We were worried about brain development at this point.
Finally, they were told about Feeding Matters and discovered help after their first call.
She knew other kids that had stopped eating. She knew other kids who couldn't orally eat. And this wasn't a weird thing. This is happening. And she told me, you're not the only one who has a kid who won't eat. Because in my mind, I was. She eats 100% orally now. She's developmentally hits all of her goals, exceeds them.
Every child's feeding disorder is going to present differently, and that's based on their muscular baseline, their environment, how they react to certain things based on their past, and so that's all something to take into consideration when you're moving forward with therapy.
You did it!
Because each child's feeding disorder will develop differently, you have to treat them all as an individual and they really come up with a comprehensive plan.
Thankfully, when correctly diagnosed, overcoming feeding disorders is possible. The true concern lies with early identification and intervention.
Feeding Matters has been such a big part of the feeding community. They have really done a great job advocating for families, creating resources for us as therapists and for families to really get a comprehensive look at pediatric feeding disorders and where we need to go from here on out.
I started feeling like things were closing in on me.
Penali was struggling because of the struggles with the feeding issues of Shiv that she was going through. Penali had to actually give up her job, and her and her husband actually moved in with her in-laws so that she would have some support on a daily basis.
Because of Robin's firsthand experience with her own son Danny's journey with pediatric feeding disorders, she easily offers empathetic support to Penali.
You feel like your child is going to die in front of you because he's not eating or drinking, and there's nothing you can do to get him to thrive. I never wanted any other family to go through what my husband and I had gone through.
She always knows what to say in an email or a text. Just by her one simple 1 or 2 words, I felt like it was one person, but I felt like a million people were standing with me who understood what I was going through.
I live in Pennsylvania and Penali lives in New Jersey, but Feeding Matters is in Phoenix, Arizona. So it was so amazing that the Power of Two program could connect 2 families who live in two totally different locations.
It literally opened up a whole different world to me where I'd been searching for such a long time since my son was born to try to find a group, and I was so thankful and relieved to find Feeding Matters and the Power of Two.
Feeding Matters, their goal is to create a world where these children and families can thrive within their feeding and their environment.
I think that they save kids' lives. I think they really do. They saved Layla's life. They saved our mental stability to know that we had other resources other than just our doctor. They help parents, they help kids, they help the families.